91.5 WBIM presents the Saturday Night Soundtrack. Whoever you're with, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, don't stop. Just turn us up. Coming to you live from the campus of Bridgewater State University. We are your destination for commercial-free classic rock to power your night. Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, Van Halen, Aerosmith, Beatles, Eric Clapton, Pink Floyd, The Who, U2, AC/DC, Tom Petty, Allman Brothers, Ozzy, Neil Young, and hundreds more. Take us along wherever you go with the Livestream.com app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. So go get some food in the belly and gas in the tank as BSU's Alumni Saturday rocks on. The Saturday Night Soundtrack with Robb Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer begins now.
We're gonna blow your face out!
On Bridgewater's own 91.5 WBIM.
It is 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack's underway for another week. Welcome to it, Robb Hicks and Jarrod Barbetta.
And Ed McMahon.
The belligerent, angry-sounding Ed McMahon, with all the cynicalness and everything, but Ed McMahon nonetheless.
Nihilism at its height.
You're not going to get any British gentlemen in tonight because Steve thought, well, going to a wedding was more important than being here with us. So,
did you hear that?
What's that?
I just heard a bunch of radios being turned off.
Yeah, I think they did.
Oh, the British guy's not there? F this.
All across Bridgewater and the nation, and we know who's really drawing the ratings into this program.
So gave it some class.
Not that we had any doubt going into it anyway, but that just confirms. Call us up 508-531-1303. Let us know which we can play for you. It's classic rock until 11 o'clock. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. We're on YouTube as well. Just search for Saturday Night Soundtrack. You filter for channels. Podcasts of all our old shows are up there, and Livestream. Livestream.com is a website, and it's also a free app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Download that, search for WBIM, and you can listen to us from anywhere.
And make sure you do follow us on Twitter, because we get into multiple Twitter wars with Trump.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yep.
We have yet to do that. We have yet to have tweeted anything to him, and I'm not going to start now.
Oh, no, I think you should.
But, we are the media, and I think we've mentioned this before, that being the media, it might have a little bit more of a potential to pay attention to us.
Yeah.
All we have to tell them is that we got some beautiful chocolate cake here.
Yep.
And, the most beautiful chocolate cake you've ever seen.
Of your life.
And then the generals came in.
From a kitchen that has been cited 16 times for foodborne.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
Right. Let me just give that to my dignitaries around here.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
President Xi was enjoying it. Okay. Shut up. This is great. And Jarrod and I were talking, let's kick into this right away. Jarrod and I were asking about how come nobody around here seems to be at least a little bit freaked out about the fact that the words nuclear war keep getting thrown around the news every other day.
Yep.
Why is this doesn't seem to be a cause of alarm for anyone, and we're a little bewildered as to why that's the case.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know.
I told him, I was looking at the news the other day, and someone said something about intercontinental something and the potential of nuclear, war or conflict breaking out any instant, and I pooped my pants a little bit. And then the next thing I see is a video of oh, look how cute this puppy is. What are you people doing?
Yeah.
Why is nobody concerned?
Why are we more concerned about the sugar content of the unicorn Frappino from Starbucks when we're about to get bombed?
I don't know.
Heavily.
Have you seen that thing, by the way? That thing looks ridiculous.
It looks delicious.
I don't even understand. You should get one. You should have got one on the way in here to the program. So that we could test it and see what the deal is.
And then I'd just die from diabetes.
What is, what's it supposed to even taste like? Because all I see is a whole bunch of rainbow colors. I don't even know what the deal's supposed to be.
It changes flavors as you drink it.
Are you effing serious?
Yeah. So you drink it, and as you keep going through the layers, it gets different flavors in it.
Why do I want one now?
I don't know.
I shouldn't want one of these things.
It supposedly has 79 grams of sugar.
Awesome.
When like a regular can of soda has like 32 grams or 51 grams of sugar.
Maybe that's why I want it.
Some people are like, yeah, drink this.
It just must be my intuition.
And then,
my fat guy intuition is kicking in. It's like, you want one of these, don't you? Yeah, I do.
Then what do you have? You have the baristas,
yeah,
who are crying about this, like, oh, I can't handle the pressure of making a sugary drink for 40 people at a time.
Right.
It ended. It's ending tomorrow.
Oh, is it really? Oh, was that limited?
Yeah, it's from Wednesday to Sunday.
Okay, well, I'm not too concerned about it then. I don't think I'm going to
sneak one.
I don't think I'm going to be running out tomorrow to get a unicorn frappuccino or whatever it is.
I mean, what's this world coming to?
Do we know what all the flavors are? I have more questions about this than I thought I was going to have.
I don't know.
And I don't know why I'm asking you either.
I'm not a connoisseur. I dislike Starbucks.
I get so, you know what, man? I get so stressed out when I go to Starbucks.
That's why I don't go.
No, but here's the deal, right? Is that you go there, and first of all, come on with having a small, medium, and large is what things are called in this country.
I'm an American.
Let's relax with the tall, grande, and venti. That's number one.
On the other hand, to be devil's advocate, get with the effing program because they've been in business for 20-something years.
Yeah.
So, now it's about time to understand what a grande and a natural grande is.
Well, technically speaking, that's true, but I've been going to Dunkies all my life, so what do I know?
What about Mary Lou's?
Well, and Mary Lou's as well, where they also use the correct names for products.
Yep.
But we'll get in, we'll decide to go to Starbucks, and okay, that's fine. And then we get in the, and I'm always driving. We get in the drive-through lane, and I'm waiting, and I look over at my wife, and I go, well, what would you like? I don't know. Well, I need to know, and I have to practice it a couple of times before I get up to the speaker because I'm going to say the wrong thing.
I don't think they serve, I don't know, wife.
Right. And then so we get up to the thing, and then they always start with the, welcome to Starbucks. How can I start your order? I'm like, oh, God, sweat's coming off. And then I look over, and then she's like, and she'll rattle off what she wants, like, really quick. And it's a whole series of words that mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
And I got to try to be able to remember that and repeat it back into the speaker, and I always mess it up. Or I say something wrong. Like the time, like they have the Big Louis at Mary Lou's, and the time I ordered a Big Loogie by mistake. And then I couldn't stop myself from laughing, and I was trying to say the rest of the order, and I was just cracking. It was not a good day. That was not one of my prouder moments, sir.
That's why when I go to Starbucks, I only get a water.
Don't they? Isn't there water even like hippy dippy highfalutin ridiculousness? Like they have like Ethos water or some kind of crap like that?
Yeah, some junk.
There's some junk. I don't want to.
I just don't care. And I'm just like, whatever. I'll just have a water. Well, do you want like a water venti? No, I don't care what I just want oxygen and hydrogen in a glass together.
Make sure there's 2 hydrogens in there, will you please?
I need those those ingredients in a cup.
There's a new deal now when you go to fancy restaurants that they'll come over with the, it used to be they would just fill your glass with water. Now they come over and they say, can I interest you in some tap water? Like it's some sort of great, fantastic delicacy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I guess they're asking you because of what if you want like Perrier or some kind of like bottled Poland Springs junk. I guess they give that to you complimentary, but holy God.
I'd go, what tap are we talking about? Are we talking about the bathroom sink tap? Are we talking about the kitchen tap? Or are we talking about the dishwashing tap? I care.
And this conversation has made me realize that my wife and I need to take you to some highfalutin place really soon because I think it would just be entertaining.
You'd hate it.
We've done it before, sir. It's happened before.
And I ended up being the one that hated it. Why is your wife concerned about that young gentleman drinking?
No, it wasn't just that time, sir. That place isn't even highfalutin. I'm talking about like when we went to Martinis and junk. And not even just that one time. I'm talking about like a couple of times we took you there. Oh. And like you got like, I forget what we got for dinner. Like it was you got like French fries or something.
Yeah, because I don't want any of that frilly crap. You know what I mean? Like you go in and you want you just want a Costa. You don't want that like doily BS. You know what I mean?
You get some.
They just serve you your iced tea on a doily.
You get some working class guys getting you your classic rock tonight, boy.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Effing doilies. Get out of here. If you show up at my counter with a damn bow tie on, go away. You know what I mean? Don't show it.
Weren't you the one who also told me once that you didn't want them coming over and filling your water glass like 15 times or something?
Well, because that happens sometimes.
Right.
You're at a restaurant and you
I
might
think it even happened the time we brought you to the place I just mentioned, and you were getting all irritated about it then.
Yeah. Well, because like you take a sip and then like they come descend upon you like a vulture. Do you need more water, sir? No, I do not need more water. I just took a sip. I just thought I might want to put more in the thing. No, I don't want any more. Just please go away. But you don't want any more water? No, I do not want any more water. You know what I mean? It's obnoxious. Go away. Wait until a glass is like a third done or something. You know?
There you go.
Just give me some time.
Public service announcement on waiting tables is brought to you by Jarrod Barbetta.
You're like pacing between my shoulders. Do you need water, sir? I'm looking to see if perhaps you want some water. No, I don't want.
And the first block of Classic Rock is coming up. 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Bad Company, Fleetwood Mac, and Soundgarden all coming up.
Call in your classic rock request now at 508-531-1303. If you don't, Rob Hicks will play a half an hour of Bruce Hornsby.
That's just the way it is.
This is your chance to save the town of Bridgewater. 91.5 WBIM.
Kiss is on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack, Chicago before that, Soundgarden, Fleetwood Mac. Bad Company all in that block. Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta.
I hate Kiss.
You do. You hate them with a passion.
Oh, my God. Like Shakespearean passion. I write sonnets about how terrible I think they are.
Played them just for you.
No, you did.
So there you go. 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. Today's National Record Store Day.
It sure is.
And Jarrod and Steve took their annual trip up to Bull Moose Records up there in Maine.
Yep.
But what town is it again? You've told me this a million times.
Salem.
There you go.
Right on the town line.
There you go. So they headed up there bright and early this morning, and Jarrod got a good haul. I assume Mr. Rimmer had a good haul.
He did.
Looked like he did. He posted a couple of photos on Facebook, so it looked like he did.
I didn't see him.
And well, of course you
I was
didn't.
with him.
Of course you didn't, because you're on Facebook, and you're not on Facebook, so don't worry about it.
Yep.
Not
worried.
However, apparently there's a story to tell.
Yeah. So last night, I'm being nerdy and I'm writing, and I went to get up to go to the gentleman's room.
For anybody following along at home, the gentleman's room is really just a bathroom in his house.
So, but when I got up, I guess my hand just kind of swept across the table, and just boom, there goes my phone.
There it goes.
Just launched.
Oh, what's that thing? Oh, that's my phone.
Good.
Oh, good.
I'll see that when I go to Mexico. And it bounced, and it just shattered.
Oh,
The whole screen. The 10 years I've had a cell phone.
right.
And yes, I've only had a cell phone for 10 years. I always used to keep a house phone. I never did the cell phone thing. I never understood the point of it. But the whole 10 years, I had one. I never broke one. And
Until
this
now.
one thing, whoops, a sweep, and boom. It wasn't even that hard of a sweep.
Right.
It was just like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
Because I haven't had one. I've never had one that shattered before.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple. I've had both Androids and I've got the iPhone now, obviously. And I've never had a shatter situation. And I'm always getting on the subway next to people who have their phones are shattered and they're sitting there just using them anyway. And I look down on those people. I got to admit.
Yeah, I do too. I had a couple of friends with the same thing.
I'm looking at them and I'm like, get some class and fix your phone, will you, please. You obviously had the means to get the phone. Why don't you get it fixed?
Well, on my phone policy, I have a service plan.
Right.
I found out.
Most reasonable people should.
Yeah. Well, I found out through my service plan. It's more ridiculous than the healthcare plans that we have.
Who knew a cell phone plan could be so complicated?
Not even that, because I started Googling instantly once I saw that my phone had more cracks in it than a crack house.
Did you start Googling on your computer because you were like, I can't even see anything to Google on this thing?
I did it on my phone.
Oh, good.
But still, in my phone plan, I had to pay like a $225 deductible, and then top of them repairing the phone for another $40. Well, F that. So I started researching what else I could do
right.
other than using translucent duct tape.
Sure. Which is what you were about to come to.
Oh, yeah, I was about to get there. And I saw that if I brought my phone to the store, the Apple store that'll take care of it, for $150 plus tax and 2 hours of my time.
Yeah.
So I opted for that over the more. But still, it's just like, then I had the option, too. I could have gone to the my provider, and I could have just replaced the phone because I have a free upgrade.
Sure.
So I could have done that, but I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm nerdy. The new iPhone's supposed to be coming out in September. Like, do I get stuck with this phone for another 2 years?
Well, what's coming? Let me ask you this question. What's coming out in September? Because didn't the 7 just come out last year, or am I a year behind here?
No, that's how they do it. Yeah.
So the 7 came out last year, but I thought they didn't go from like 7 to 8, let's say, for like 2 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm just going on what I'm reading.
That's fine.
So, whatever.
Okay.
Everybody's talking about the 8. 8's supposed to be coming out in September.
Oh, interesting.
So,
okay. That's early for them is my point.
I guess. I don't know. I don't care.
Anyway. Sounded like you did a minute ago. I'm just saying.
Well, all I'm saying is
I'm nerdy. I don't care about the details. I'm just nerdy. Oh, okay.
I didn't care about, like, having to go out and swap out my phone for the same damn thing.
Especially where you're going to be, like you said, if you're going to do it, might as well just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
Yeah,
so
I get you.
I had to take the hit.
Yeah.
$150.
It's terrible.
And then I had to buy the glass that you saw.
Right.
But the thing that really gets my goat and milks it is that I've got like this fancy Auto case on this thing.
Which I do too.
And on the box it says it's supposed to take care of this kind of junk and protect it and all that. It's like wearing 7 condoms at the same time when you're hanging out with like a back alley hooker.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Exactly. But the thing's smashed with this case that cost me, I don't know, $50-$60.
Right. Now, when I was in there, and I don't
BS.
I'm not trying to call any sort of I'm not challenging you on this. But I was pretty positive that I have what they call the Defender, and mine is different than yours because mine is like rubberized.
I have that one too.
So I'm confused as to which one's the Defender and which one's the Commuter, or is that just a different Defender?
Maybe it's a different Defender.
I don't know.
You know what? Guess what? I don't care.
But I've never had. I don't care about the nerding. But I've never had the Commuter OtterBox because I'm always like, well, I don't trust myself to only be as slightly clumsy. I want the one that's going to defend me against as clumsy as I can probably get without being completely ludicrous.
I mean, again, I'll demonstrate off air.
Sure.
Like the amount of force that went behind, and it just baffles my mind. It's just kind of like the divine intervention came down and said, "You,"
right,
and just
it's been 10 years since you've had a phone. You've never had a phone shatter in 10 years. Well, it's time for this guy to have to deal with this crap.
Yep.
So here you go.
It's going to be launched.
The very next time he does anything that's remotely violent around his phone, guess what? It's happening.
Yep.
Things shattering. Good luck, pal.
It's going to be launched like 57 Tomahawk missiles into Syria.
I thought it was Iraq. Oh, no, wait, Syria.
It's all the same to him.
Oh, over there.
Over there. Where there's sand all the time.
And in that interview, he said Iraq so forcefully, too.
Yeah.
We sent 59 missiles into Iraq. And she's like, into Syria. Yeah, into Syria.
Yeah, whatever.
And he says it like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like it makes no difference. Well, they're 2 different countries, you moron. Why don't you... And my wife was like, wouldn't it be funny if he actually didn't mean to send the missiles into Syria at all and meant to send them someplace entirely different?
Well, he's on a cake high.
Well, I was listening... Who doesn't get on a cake? I was watching. watching.
It probably was. Is that he ate the cake from the kitchen that has like 57
right
warnings against it.
And he's sitting there and he's like,
the first one. Ooh, my
he's
stomach.
Sitting there. He's like, oh, this is a beautiful cake, most beautiful cake I've ever. President Xi, this is a beautiful cake. It's a beautiful cake, beautiful cake.
And then his stomach starts to.
Right.
Oh,
starts making that sound that it makes.
And then it just turns into a situation like, I'll be right back.
Right.
If anything happens, just say yes to it. And then he's out there.
Mr. President, we don't know. I got a Jackson Pollock situation brewing, and I can't talk about it. I got to go.
I got a Kahlua Mudside coming. I I got to get this out. Got to get this handled. It's more important. So he's in there, and then like he's hearing like different questions. Are you all right? Should we bomb Syria?
Right.
Yes to all.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get this done. I'm dehydrating myself rapidly.
It's like when you just keep clicking the notifications on your phone and just keeps asking questions. You want to do this later? Yes, later. Fine. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever you're saying.
And you said yes 57 times, and that's why.
Do you agree to these 89 pages of terms for iTunes? Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Just keep doing it. Just do it. That's fine.
The mother of all bombs, drop that. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm doing.
John Oliver on his show this past week was saying that he kind of wished that interviewer woman, I wish I could remember her name. Just kept listing other countries, like just to see if he would just agree to all of them.
Yep.
Into Sweden? Yeah, into Sweden.
Yeah.
Into Italy? Yeah, into Italy.
I'd see that happen.
You know?
I'd see that happen.
What, into Mexico? Definitely into Mexico, yeah. Definitely into Mexico.
Twice in Mexico.
Maybe 3 times.
Yeah. Just because there's 3 colors in their flags, so you can just do it 3 times.
Did I tell you about the cake? Most beautiful cake you ever saw.
Best cake ever.
Best cake.
7-layer cake.
Call us up.
That's how high my wall will be. 7 layers high.
508-531-1303. Another big block of classic rock coming up. SNS BIM.
The Saturday Night Soundtrack.
Saturday night. Saturday night. Saturday night. Saturday night.
Actually, pretty nice little Saturday.
WBIM.
Oh, there he is. That's our on-air competition every Saturday night, but he does his good job over there on ZLX. Alice Cooper, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater, SNS radio show. Van Morrison before that, Beatles, James Taylor, and kicked everything off with War, featuring Eric Burden, Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta.
Hey, take your shirt off.
David. No.
Well, it's Iggy's birthday today.
Yeah, it is. He's 70, right?
So take it off.
Crazy. I'm still not taking my shirt off. And
he does.
Jesus. And I'm sure you'll thank me, and then please don't take your shirt off either, sir, and everything will be fine. And we'll be good.
It'll be good. You could do your laundry on my abs.
All righty, so 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. Once again, you like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. We were talking about all the stuff that was going on down the hall and how kind of rowdy it's been around tonight.
Rowdy.
Well, I completely forgot that the Program Council So You Think You Can DJ event is going on tonight. Mm-hmm. That's over at it's one of the Springfest events. It's at the DMF Auditorium. It's in room DMF 120. It's happening right now, actually. It's going on from 6 to 9. Don't go over there. Keep listening to us. Yeah. But I'm just telling you that it's out there, and that's what's happening. If you're, the kind of loser that wants to go over there and do that, well, good for you. So,
yep.
You should be the kind of loser who wants to sit here and listen to us, just to kind of mope around and play classic rock and talk about how we're old and breaking stuff and all sorts of good things like that.
Yeah.
Because that's usually how it goes.
We're a bunch of wine bags.
Pretty much. And, usually there's 3 wine bags here. One of them is decidedly British, but he's not with us tonight. We're all the poorer for it.
Well, I'm more like a wine box. You know what I mean?
Good. I almost didn't recognize you, sir, when you came over to my house. You didn't have the beard anymore, did you?
I left it at home. I was in a rush to get up to Bull Moose for Record Store Day,
And as we discussed off the air, you were in a little bit of more of a rush than you expected to be.
Yep.
I thought, did you do it? Did you have to do that for your Mason event?
No.
A couple of weeks back?
Not at all. Last weekend, no.
Just decided to do it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, look at you.
Yeah,
Look at you.
I'm not beholden to nobody's expectations.
No, I understand that. I mean, I'm just saying. You showed up, and I was like, I almost called the police because I'm like, well, I expected a bearded crazy man to show up on my porch. Here's a crazy man, all right, but with no beard. So what's the deal? Yeah. And speaking of calling the police, I'm almost at the point now where I think maybe we need to make one of those wellness check deals. For my neighbor's house, because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, you can do that anonymously.
I mean, we're embroiled right now in a definite rear window type situation where we're trying to figure out what's happening. People have lived across the house from us for apparently 20, 30 years or so, and we know this not because, we've only lived in the house for, what year is this, 2017? Yeah. So we've lived in the house for 11 years. Prior to us living there, my sister-in-law lived there, and God knows how long she was there. And, my sister-in-law was more social.
Yeah.
So they knew the neighbors by name and stuff. So my wife and I are telling her we're telling her about the neighbor situation and that everything looks weird because they'll leave basically. There's nobody at the house, and then all of a sudden people will show up at the house, like a different car will show up at the house at different times of the day. And weird times of the day, right? Like I'll get up in the morning. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. I've just gotten up, and there's a car sitting in the driveway with the headlights on. But then it promptly leaves, and then nobody's there for the rest of the day. Or maybe somebody will, the days I work from home, I notice somebody will show up at the house at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon again for maybe about 15, 20 minutes at a time, and then they leave, and then nobody shows up for the rest of the night. And it's odd. So my wife's telling her sister about this, and she's like, well, have you seen Judy? And she's like, who is Judy? She's like, she's the woman that lives next door. She's a woman that lives next door. And she's like, oh, no, I only know Dennis. She's like, okay. And then my sister-in-law was like, I'll send a card to see if she's okay. And I'm like, well, no, don't have her do that. Because I don't necessarily know if we want to be involved in this thing. But I'm starting to think. And now, so Friday, I think it was Friday. Maybe it was Thursday. Maybe it might have even been Thursday. I don't know. But a new vehicle showed up in the parking lot that we've never seen before. And now it's been there since Thursday or Friday and has not moved from the spot that it was in.
You know what you should do? You should set up a little camera, like a GoPro or something.
Yeah.
And just do a time lapse.
Right.
And just...
I know, because I'm...
See if someone like in a GIMP mask is like dragging out trash bags.
It's the weirdest thing in the world that I've...
6'2".
This is part of... I mean... On the one hand, I'm like, well, maybe it's good that we don't really get involved with our neighbors because at least whatever nefarious thing is going on, we're not involved in it.
Yep.
But then on the other hand, I'm like, well, maybe this is the drawback of not being involved with your neighbors because maybe there's a very simple explanation that they would have given us if we just communicate with them more than a couple of times a year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody... No, that's not... I was going to say that, but I don't think so. You and I both have seen The Burbs, so we know.
Yeah.
We know.
Oh, of course.
We know how this could end up.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
They're actually building a
out
tiki...
there with the charcoal thing and everything.
They're actually building a tiki bar.
Right. But I mean, it's just, well, I don't know. I don't really know.
That was a piss of movie. And for all you kids out there that haven't seen it, get off your asses.
Yeah, and you know what? It's on Blu-ray now. You got no excuse not to go out and see it in some capacity. It's probably also, is it still on TNT every other weekend or no? Is it a little too old for that now?
I think it might be. I don't even know. Does TNT even exist?
Yeah, it does.
It's definitely on Netflix.
TNT is I think certain channels have become like, there are certain networks that I feel like only show certain movies now. Like TNT is like the Lord of the Rings channel.
Yeah.
Like every weekend I'm flipping through, either TNT or TBS has like one of the Lord of the Rings on.
Let's get to water!
And they're showing the whole trilogy deal. And I'm like, oh, I can't sit through that. And then, I mean, I like those movies and all, but it requires a commitment, a definite commitment.
It does. Especially if you have the extended cuts.
Right, which I do.
Good Lord.
And I mean, I got all excited when the extended cuts of all 3 of the Hobbit movies came out. And then I watched them and I was like, man.
Now I have to put on the other trilogy.
Didn't really do anything for me.
The whole story.
Well, I'm not leaving the house for 2 days. The neighbors can worry about me if they want. I'm in a...
how long is
I'm
it?
I'm embroiled in a Lord of the... If you watch this is the nerdiest conversation we could possibly be having. Jesus Christ. If you put on I know for a fact that I don't know why I know this, but it's about 12 hours if you watch the extended cuts of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
So that's 12 hours.
Right. I don't know how long the extended cuts of the Hobbit trilogy is back to back, but it's got to be pretty... I don't think it's quite as long, but
it can't be
it's pretty... Return of the King is a mammoth movie. I mean, that thing, the extended version of that thing, I think is like 4.5 hours long.
Yep.
The thing you can...
You got to put the disc in. You got to switch
right.
the disc.
Here's the thing you can cut out a little bit, okay, is that if you're watching the extended cuts, I've noticed that the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings... Radios are turning off everywhere, is about, each one you can cut about 15 minutes of the runtime off whatever it says, because 15 minutes of it is just the credits.
Yeah.
Because they added everybody's name to the credits, everybody who was
everybody
involved in like the
babies that were born.
Right. And they were involved in like the inception of the fan club for it and all that.
Yep.
They stuck all those losers' names in there. So, if you want to sit there and scroll through all that, you can, or you can just like stop it and pop in the next movie at that point.
Yep.
Save yourself 15 or 20 minutes each movie, and then you might be able to cut down on your time at least a bit.
45 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's like 11.
It's 11 hours. It's 11 hours and 15,
That's doable.
and 15 minutes. You can do that.
I say that we should challenge ourselves.
Anything over 12 is ridiculous.
We should take a day.
Yeah.
During the summer.
Okay.
I come over.
Yeah.
And we just power through.
We should do that.
And we film it.
It's going to... The same GoPro that I get to spy on the neighbors, we'll just set it up in the living room.
And we'll just film us.
Oh, great.
Like popping in like early morning Saturday.
In the background at some point you see Sarah like stagger downstairs. It's going to be like that scene in Wolf of Wall Street when they're like working out in the workout room after taking the lewds there. Yeah. Margot Robbie comes down the stairs. She's like, "What are you two retards doing?" We're working out, hon. We're watching Lord of the Rings, hon.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good time.
We could do that.
Yeah.
And then that'll be great. Because you are supposed to, I did extend the invitation that you are supposed to come over at some point to hang out with me, watch the new TV, because I am well aware of the fact that we don't really hang out other than doing this program. Yep. And that's probably not a good sign of friendship. I need to reach out a little bit more.
I've been told that I'm good in doses.
But here's the thing, though. If we're sitting
and that's coming from like people that I really cherish. They're like, listen, you're a good friend. You're probably the best friend that there's ever been on this planet, but you're only good in doses.
Not a good friend in an extended Lord of the Rings cut trilogy type marathon type of
saga, Lord of the
type
Rings
of time
saga.
frame. You know what I mean? Let's calm it down a little bit. Let's tone it down.
Let's challenge this friendship by a Lord of the Rings
do that.
saga.
But so you'll come over at some point. Maybe we won't do the Lord of the Rings thing, but we'll watch a movie or two. It'll be great. And then it won't be like we only hang out to do this show.
No, that's fine.
You know,
whatever.
It'll happen.
Yeah, sure.
It'll happen this summer. I guarantee you it will happen.
I remember hearing, I guarantee it will happen this summer.
No.
2 summers ago about something else.
No.
That's still
I keep forgetting, sir. You've got to remind me of this stuff a little bit more frequently.
It's funny, though.
I mean, it's becoming every week now that you are reminding me. I get that, but I need a little bit more.
I can't have another summer.
What about, we'll talk about it off the air.
It's
Nobody wants to know.
It's a work in progress.
No one needs to know.
It's a work in progress, that thing that you're talking about.
508-531-1303.
Look at a menu here.
If you haven't shut us off yet, it's Classic Rock until 11 o'clock, SNS BIM.
Losers.
Whether you're spending a night in town or just a night in, we've got you covered. It's All Request Classic Rock on Bridgewater's Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks at 91.5 WBIM.
Eric Clapton, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack, Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta. I kind of want to know what it was like in the, if there was any kind of writing debate going on where, they were like, just want to have this marching stuff at the end of the song for like a minute.
Yep.
And
for 40 hours.
Studio's like, Eric, are you sure? Are you sure you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, my kid just died.
Yeah,
of course.
Oh, okay. Whatever you say, man.
Whatever you want, man.
Stick that on the record, man.
We got it for you.
You're good. Bob Seger before that, David Bowie, John Mellencamp all on the block, and doing classic rock till 11 o'clock. Call us up, 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear, or don't, because, I got all my own songs here, too. I don't necessarily need to hear from you.
We don't need your junky songs.
We don't need to play Thank You by Led Zeppelin again. I don't really...
again.
I don't feel like playing All My Love by Led Zeppelin either, just to throw that out there. I don't feel like playing... What's the other song that we used to have to play by Leonard Skinner every other week?
I don't know.
I don't feel like playing that crap either. Nope. So if it's not any of those songs, call us up and let us know what we can do for you. Again, 508-531-1303. We'll talk. We'll debate. Yeah. We'll debate over it as hard as Jarrod debated over what dinner he wanted. You should have seen the anguish that was going on in the studio.
Yeah,
the flip-flopping and just trying to decide what he wanted to eat. Now, I'm trying to help him by guiding him in a particular direction, and then he would go, well, there's that. But then there's also, here's another argument to have this other thing. I'm like, I don't care, man. I want you to be happy with your food. I want you to get whatever is going to make you satisfied.
Yep.
That's all I want. And then I'm sitting in here doing the block, and he goes out of the room to make the phone call. All of a sudden, I look through the window in the production room here, and he's being all creepy, just rubbing his paper on the outside of the window of the production room, which I can still see from the angle that I'm at, and it's just creepy.
Yep.
That's a good thing I had pants on.
What? talking
I
about?
don't know. We mentioned in the last blog we were talking about, I think this is when we ended up going off on the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy deal, which went on longer than it probably should have.
Yeah, it certainly did.
In retrospect. But what I was really getting to with that whole thing was that it seems like there are certain channels that just seem to show certain movies. Like I turned on the cable box yet again the other night and Shawshank was on AMC. Well, can you calm down? I get the fact that it's a tremendous movie, but can you relax just a little bit? It's on every day. AMC is like the Departed, Shawshank, Saving Private Ryan channel at this point. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, you could show some other things here and there.
No.
If you want to sprinkle them through.
No other movies matter. No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Yeah. I was watching, I turned on Saving Private Ryan the other night. It was like right at the beginning, too. And I was like, oh, I got to sit down and watch this for a while.
Yep.
And 2.5 hours later, my wife is like, how are you still, you've seen this movie 150 times. And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter because it's one of those movies that no matter how many times I see it, you know, well, it's just great. And then in the back of my mind, there's always this thing that reminds me that Shakespeare in Love won the Best Picture, which was absolutely friggin' stupid.
Yeah.
F you, Ben Affleck, in your stupid movie. Not that he was really
not to be. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like how do you, I mean? I don't even understand how a decision like that gets made. But it's well, it was just stupid.
Think, Matt? I mean, not Matt. You're not Matt. Of course not. I don't know who you are. And then he does a little smirk.
That's pretty much how I remember the movie. That was, I think that was pretty much it. That's all that comprised it. But I just had to watch. I just had to watch as much as I could for a while, and it was great. And it's a movie that gets, I don't necessarily want to say gets better every time I watch it, but I mean it's a movie that holds up every time I watch it. If it doesn't get better, if I don't appreciate it more, I appreciate it just the same as I did. By contrast, I had Black Mass on. It was on one of the HBO channels the other day. I was watching a little bit of that, and I was telling my wife, I said, well, this movie is exactly the opposite of how I normally am. Normally, I watch a movie, and I'm maybe not too into it, or there are things about it that just, I don't want to say went over my head, but that I just didn't appreciate as much. And then I watch them a couple more times. I'm like, oh, I see where that piece fits. That piece fit there. That's good. Oh, I see what they were doing there. That's good. Well, maybe I underrated this. You know what I mean? And like, I think about stuff like that, and I'm like, well, usually the appeal of the movie grows on me. Whereas with Black Mass, the more I see it, the less I like it.
Yeah.
I came out of the theater thinking the thing was great. I don't know why. I think it's because I was just all jazzed up to see a Boston mob movie about Whitey Bulger finally, and I just wanted to see it. And then after,
I'm still pissed.
I left the theater and I was like, yeah, that was solid. That was great. We got a new Boston, Massachusetts movie to add to the repertoire, and we've got a new mob movie to add to the repertoire. Fantastic. Yep. And then I bought it when it came out on Blu-ray about, whatever, it comes out 5-6 months later, and I watched it and I was like, yeah, some stuff that could have been about better, but still a solid movie. And now HBO's been showing it every other day. And then I've watched it a couple of times on there, not all the way through, but I've watched portions of it here and there. And the more I watch it, man, the more I just it's sinking fast in my in my estimation.
Same. I mean, like, me, I lived with that whole thing for a while.
Yeah.
And oh man, and like you kind of like try to take a step back and think about creative licensing and all that.
Right.
But like, as a whole, like a lot of the decisions that guy made directorial-wise, just you're like, what? And it's so choppy.
Right.
And it's just like they didn't really have a script. They just wanted to get something done. Oh, crap, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's going to do something?
Right.
Get this out now.
Are they?
But it's not done. I don't give a damn. Put it out.
Which actually makes me wonder, are they still doing that? Because I'd much rather see that at this point.
I think they dumped it.
No.
I think they dumped it because
this other thing came out?
Because this other thing, and how
so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, Johnny Depp did do a good job in the picture.
He's still Johnny Depp to me. He's Johnny Depp doing a Whitey impression. That's how I felt.
A little bit.
I never got fully immersed. Benedict Cumberbatch was a horrible idea for Billy Bulger.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing, right? Even Joel Edgerton as John Connolly. For whatever reason, I left the movie theater thinking I liked Joel Edgerton better than Johnny Depp, and I liked all the focus on him, and I thought he did really good. And the more I watched it, I was like, why is this so over the top?
Yeah.
And like almost cartoony.
Yeah.
That, you know what I mean? Like it's starting to sink in the other way, and I'm like, damn it, because I wanted to like this movie so much. Like when they first announced it, when I was waiting for it to come out, when it was like the release date was announced, it was like it was getting closer and closer. I was getting all, I was getting all jazzed up for it. And then the thing came out and I was like, cool. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, good. That's great.
Great.
And then.
Wondered. Like, again, it's like a lot of the choices that just didn't make any sense.
Right.
It seemed like crib notes of the whole thing. And I know it's such a huge. It's a huge story.
Right.
That's why.
But I mean, there are
we
a lot of
elected to do it as a serial.
Right. I mean, there are a lot of There are a lot of huge stories that get told properly if done right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
pick a section.
If they had
and go with it.
Right. If they had unleashed Martin Scorsese on that deal, well, the thing would have been fantastic.
I wish they had.
You know what I mean?
Because like that guy was like, I want to make this movie ASAP before the other guys do.
Right.
And I don't have a solid script, and I want to like really get on that guy's pole,
right,
and just and just do the best the best impression I can.
I feel like it was like, well, not that this guy was in a rush to do anything, but it's like when David O. Russell put out American Hustle, and everybody was all about, oh, this is great because he's being just like Scorsese and he's doing even better than Scorsese. Let's calm it down a little bit. There are some problems with that movie.
Yeah,
tone wise. Yep. Didn't really have the tone right. It's like, am I supposed to be laughing at this? Am I not? What's going? That guy's movies are so haphazard. I can't deal with them. I can't deal with them. I've tried to like him. I've tried to like his movie because the thing is, he puts out movies that I feel like subject matter wise, like if American Hustle had been in if it had been in another director's hands, I feel like I would have liked it. It's a story I would like.
Yeah,
but I didn't like the way he did it. I didn't like his movie.
I still thought it was better than I Heart Hucklebees.
Most things are.
So
I've seen some YouTube videos that are better than I Heart Huckabees. That's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and it remains such. And I watch Mystery Science Theater 3000, and I watch the movies they make fun of on there. I Heart Huckabees was worse than some of those, just because it thought it was so serious.
I'm so glad that show's back.
You know, I've watched the first couple of episodes, and I'm glad it's back as well. But I'm trying to get into it a little bit.
I mean, I know they don't have Mike. They have some other guy.
They got like some super fan guy that they ended up getting. And I mean, he's okay. But I don't deal well with change. So not having Mike in, I mean, even like Joel. I mean, Joel Hodgson was behind the whole Kickstarter thing to begin with, but he's not actually in the show. No. So in my mind, I'm like, well, you got so involved in this. Why didn't you actually host it? Yeah. Because I think that would have been really cool to see Joel come back like 25 years after he did the first one to come back and be the host again. I mean, I think, with his droopy-eyed delivery and everything, I think it would have been great. But they got this new kid in there, and I mean, he's fine. And they got Patton Oswalt as one of the scientists there, and Felicia Day, who I don't know who she is.
I do.
But she's kind of cute looking in a weird sort of way.
She's like a YouTube sensation.
Is that what she is?
Yeah.
It's almost like I like and dislike her face at the same time. It's difficult to explain. I can't really explain it. I'm like, she turns a certain way, and I'm like, she's sort of attractive, and then she turns another way, and I'm like, no.
That's a platypus.
Check, please. So I don't know what the deal is. But I've watched a couple of episodes on Netflix so far. I'm going to watch it the rest of the season out, and I think it needs to grow back on me. You know what I mean? It's been so long since I've watched the show overall that I have to sort of get back into the rhythm of it, and it's difficult to get back into the rhythm when it's all new people.
Yeah.
Different voices for the robots, everything. The whole thing's different, but the same. It's kind of blowing my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ride it out and see how it goes.
Yeah, pretty much.
So there's another nerdy segment for you, brought to you by your friends here at 91.5 WBIM. Woo! The Saturday Night Soundtrack.
Well, hey, wake up.
Steve keeps us so much more grounded, man. Like, do you realize the tangents we've already gone? It's only 7:17. Yeah. The tangents we've gone off on tonight already.
Do you believe that motion picture was filmed with an aperture of A12?
There are already numerous times during tonight's show where I feel like Steve would have been next to you going,
I'd rather listen to a Tom Petty record.
That was the worst impression of Steve I think I've ever heard in my life.
It's my life mission to make poor impressions of Steve.
Well, mission accomplished.
No, every day.
Mission accomplished. Call us up, 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Another big block of classic rock coming up. Going to kick it off with a song that shares the same name as Jarrod's cat.
If your bed is in a small town and that's good enough for you, you're one of the only listeners who can hear us on an actual radio. Congratulations. Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
Meatloaf is on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS Radio show Nirvana before that. U2, Traveling Wilburys. Kicked it off with the Eagles with James Dean. Song that shares the same name as Jarrod's cat.
I was just, I have a cat.
Yeah.
I was just talking to the Traveling Wilburys to Steve.
Were you?
The record store day, yeah.
Was he like, I don't like them because Tom Petty's in them and they're crap?
No.
Okay.
Because he and I used to work at a record store.
Right.
And we used to get a kick. Well, it used to bother us that a lot of folks would come in looking for the Traveling Wilburys. Because for a long time that stuff wasn't readily available. So a lot of folks would come in, I'm looking for this. And then the people that didn't seem to be in the know about that group, they'd come in and they'd look for Volume 2.
Right, because the Traveling Wilburys were Richards, and they decided to name their albums all weird.
Yeah, so they did Volume 1 and
then
Volume 3. And then
right.
that was it.
Right,
Well,
right.
And then you try to explain to them, no, because then why would they have Volume 3? Because that's what they're doing. They're just being funny. It's a spin on the volume thing. No, I need number... You're just being a Richard. You don't know what you're talking about. I was like, no, I work at a record store, sir.
I know exactly what's going on. You know what? How about you special... You know what? I'll special order Volume 2 for you.
Yeah.
Go home and wait for it.
Yeah, I'll take $40. That's how much it costs.
Right.
Oh, great. And then...
I'll make sure to deliver it directly to your house, too, so you don't even have to come back here.
Yep.
So how about we do it that way?
Exactly.
And then there you go.
And then we'll wait.
Even if it seems like it's coming from a long time, well, it's coming from Europe or something like that.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it. It's just going to be a while. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So, 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. Apparently, we're getting played in places we didn't realize we were being played.
Yep.
So that's fantastic. Sorry if we're disrupting anything.
Yeah.
For any stuff that you guys have going on. Well, I don't know what to tell you. We're up here doing a show, and we'll turn the TV off if you need. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what to do.
I don't want to deal with it.
But that's fine. The issue will work itself out one way or the other.
One way or the other.
But we got our food, so thanks very much to Bridgewater House of Pizza again for feeding us and getting all that stuff taken care of. And yeah, you know what? I want to eat my food.
Yeah,
so
we're just gonna get right.
So here we go. Shortest break of the night ever.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. We're out. Call us up 508-531-1303. Get SNS on BIM.
The best reason to listen to WBIM on Saturday nights instead of your iPod. Size matters. The largest library of classic rock in Bridgewater is on this Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer. 91.5 WBIM.
That's the Who, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack, Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta. Give us a call. Let us know what you want to hear. 508-531-1303. It's Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can also follow us on Twitter, @SM Soundtrack. Don't forget that we got a YouTube channel out there. All you got to do is search for Saturday Night Soundtrack. You filter for channels. We're the first thing that comes up there. And you know, all podcasts of all our old shows are up there and everything, so you can check all those out. You can go in order if you want. You can randomize them, whatever you want to do if you're a loser, because that's what I do, but you don't necessarily have to do that. Livestream. Livestream.com also is a website, of course, and it's a free app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Download that, search for WBIM, and you can listen to us streaming every Saturday night from anywhere.
Anywhere.
But don't try to listen to us streaming during the summer, because it ain't going to happen, because they don't open the building for us. Yeah.
We'll even stream it on Night Train.
There you go. So great. So again, 508-531-1303. While we play blocks of classic rock here, Jarrod enjoys showing me horrifying videos online.
Yep.
So he calls me and he's like, Rob, you guys see this? Okay, so I'll play along. So I go in the other room. He's got a video going and he's like, this is going to horrify you. Ready? Click.
Yep.
And it's a video of a cat with its head stuck in a jar.
Yep.
And these two balloon heads trying to like basically just break the jar apart to get the cat out. And they keep breaking off pieces, and the thing is still around the cat's neck. Where do you find this stuff?
On the internet.
Great. And obviously, that was obviously they were foreign. So, was there any indication where they were from?
Based on the language, it's Russian.
Right. So it didn't say though.
Fairly sure it's Russian.
Okay, good. So, jeez. So, Jarrod thinks that these are things I really want to see, and those things I don't want to see.
It was horrifying.
It was horrifying.
At first, I was like, they're going to crush that cat's skull. Why am I going to watch this?
The cat was okay, by the way, in the end.
Yeah.
So,
a little shaken.
yeah, just a little bit.
They do things different over there in Russia.
Very.
As we know.
Yeah. We know a lot more now than we used to.
Yep.
So we're
Nobody
on.
seems to care.
We're on until 11 o'clock. Just Jarrod and I. We're on until 11 o'clock, and we're doing classic rock tonight. Next week, a week from tonight.
Ooh, don't spoil it.
Well, I got to tell people what we're going to do.
We're going to do something special for you folks.
You don't even want to say what it's going to be?
Nope.
Oh, you don't want to blow it?
Yep, that's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll leave it then.
Yep.
We'll leave it as a surprise.
We're going to do something special for you.
Yeah.
Guys.
So
we're
there
not
you
going
go.
to do this BS where we just say we're going to do something special for you and then never show up again.
Right. Well, that was, I mean, in the end, that was probably the best favor he could have probably done for everyone.
That's probably what they're thinking now.
You know what I mean? So.
I hope they never show up.
Oh,
Saturday Night Soundtrack? You mean Saturday Night Suck?
Oh, they've been coming in here for like 2.5 years, and there's no indication that they're going to stop?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wonderful.
Okay. Great.
I hate those guys.
Speaking of doing things for people, have you seen all the theories that are going around now about the whole Aaron Hernandez thing?
Yes.
And people saying that So the theory out there, in case anybody doesn't know, is that he decided to hang himself in his jail cell because as soon as he was acquitted of the double murder from, 2012, something like that, as soon as he was acquitted of that, then that meant that if he were to die before his appeal went through on the Odin Lloyd conviction, then he would automatically have his conviction vacated after he was dead, which would mean that it was almost like he had never committed the crime at all, and then the Patriots would have to pay his kid some ridiculous, inordinate amount of money, like $15 million or something.
$15 million.
And so the whole reason that Aaron Hernandez decided to hang himself in prison had nothing to do with him being a puss and couldn't handle the prison life. It was basically just that he was smart enough, this thug was smart enough to realize that he was going to be able to, if he did this, the legal technicality would result in his daughter being able to get this money and all of this stuff. Are you effing serious? There's no way. There's no way he would think that, even if that were the case, and even if that ends up being by a long shot, even if that ends up being the result of this action, there's no way he thought of that ahead of time. Zero.
Working in the prison.
Yeah.
Not that specific prison, but
sure. The prison
Yeah,
industry.
the rumors I've heard is that he was murdered, which is complete junk.
Right. Of course it is.
Because first off, he was already on suicide watch.
Right.
Already. So he's been on suicide watch for, 5 years now?
Something like that, yeah. It's been a while.
You've got that. You've got the fact that this kid was 27. I think he realized that, I'm throwing away my whole life. Because I don't think if he hadn't done this, I don't think he would have gotten off on the first one, the Lewis one. Because the evidence was so stacked.
The Odin Lloyd, you mean?
Yeah. Odin Lloyd. The evidence was so stacked. He comes into his house, like, liquid on his shirt.
Right.
And then he's got a black thing in his hand, but the video camera couldn't pick it up too well. But, I think he just realized, I threw away my entire life. I had the world in my back pocket.
Right.
I was a path.
Yeah.
And all this other junk, and he threw it away for a couple of grams of coke or whatever the hell it was.
Right, and that's the thing, is that it's been so long, and this whole thing has been so mired in rumors and innuendos and everything else that I've completely forgotten the reason or the motive that they put forth to suppose that he killed him in the first place.
Yeah.
Like you said, the evidence is so stacked up that I don't doubt that he did it, but at the same time, I can't even remember why he did it.
Well,
I'm sure they presented a motive at some point because I know they kind of have to and they want to. But
the discussion at hand is that, for me, is that did he kill himself or was he murdered? He killed himself.
Right.
There's no two ways about it. All the whole business about the cops, doing it for him, like going in there and killing him as revenge or whatever the hell I did.
Revenge for what?
I don't know. These people and their thoughts on it. It's just ridiculous.
Like, you got to stop and think, like, what are they getting revenge on him for? He's still in prison for the rest. It's not like he beat the rap. it's not like let's say like a guy, let's say he was up in Minnesota or something, right? And sued the county for wrongful imprisonment for 18 years, and then I could get $17 million out of this, but I just happened to be accused and arrested for murdering some other woman while I was waiting to get a whole bunch of money from the county in a wrongful imprisonment suit. Oh, look, that looks like that suit's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rather peculiar. There's nothing like that here.
No. And again, it's insane. It's nonsense. I think that he just realized, one, he's not going to beat the rap. Two, he realized that he threw away his entire life. And so what's the sense?
Right.
And then he thought, well, in the grand scheme of things, in a way, this will help my daughter. She will never see me again anyway because I'm in here.
Right.
So, this will be helpful to her because then now she's going to get $15 million. But
I don't see.
That's if my ex doesn't spend all the money.
But here's the thing: is I don't even think he was smart enough to think of that ahead of time. I don't think the thought of the money even crossed his mind.
I think it did.
I don't think it did because I don't think he. This is just my interpretation: is that he doesn't strike me as smart enough to actually realize that that's how the whole legal process would ultimately work. Unless his lawyer told him that's how it would work.
I think the lawyers...
Somebody would have had to tell him.
I think the lawyers might have said something and said, listen, not like, you should kill yourself.
Right.
Something along the lines of listen, it's not all doom and gloom that you're being sentenced.
Yeah.
You think of it this way, this and this will happen for your daughter because of that.
Right.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense to me. Plus, again, I don't know. You don't become a patriot without football, without having some kind of idea of how money works.
No, I know that.
So,
I know, but they also got agents and everything like that. I don't necessarily know how all that works, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't believe in any of the rumors, and all the ridiculousness is stupid. The whole thing's stupid, and he killed himself. It's the end of the story. If anything, I read a story like that, and I'm like, how the hell does somebody know how to hang themselves with a bedsheet?
Well, there's a few things on that, my friend.
Okay.
Because first, it could be, a situation where it's not a traditional hanging, like you're hanging from a height, breaking your neck. It's a situation where you're resistance. So you've got the sheet around your neck, and you're leaning forward, and you're suffocating yourself more than you are hanging yourself.
I gotcha.
But there are little questions that come up on that because your human instinct will kick in just before death kicks in of survival.
Right.
So if you're just leaning like that, there's a way that you could stop that. But also too, depending on how the room was set up and all that other stuff.
I'm not saying I don't think he did it. I'm not saying I think somebody set it up to look like that. I'm just saying I look at it from the point of view of myself, who, as you know, I'm not handy. How would I ever know how to? One of the things I think I'm pretty confident I would not be capable of doing is hanging myself with a bedsheet.
Yeah, well, that's possible.
Pretty sure I wouldn't, even if I went on Google. I don't think I'd be able to. No matter what instructions were given to me, I don't think I'd be able to carry it through. So there's that.
PSA: don't commit suicide.
Yeah, no, don't do it because it's all stupid. Everything's stupid.
It's a mess. You think you're fixing yourself, but you're not. You're worsening things for everybody else.
And it doesn't even matter what the situation is. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're it doesn't matter if you're in prison, if you're out of prison, if you're doing this, you're doing that. It makes no difference. It's still stupid. Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's bad news.
It's PSA from your friends here, 91.5.
Yep.
WBI in Bridgewater.
Here we go.
We're going to play some classic rock.
We're going to play some songs.
Yeah, here we go.
For some people. I don't know.
And some stuff. Call us up.
So
508-531.
Not too often, though.
1303. SNS on BIM.
Got questions? Ask a Freemason. Just make sure you have a comfy chair, plenty of snacks, and at least a few hours to spare for when he actually starts talking. Jarrod Barbetta is on the Saturday Night Soundtrack on BIM.
It's a Clash. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack. Cat Stevens before that. Had our, it was part of our 2 for Train songs. I had Cat Stevens with Pete's Train. And Guns N' Roses before that, by request, Night Train. Kicked everything off with BTO, Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta. who is quickly crashing. Jared has had right. You've had 2.5 hours of sleep, and you've had a long day, sir.
Oh, I have.
A long day.
Running around.
Epic long day.
It's an odyssey.
Which makes me wonder how exciting the ride home is going to be.
Should be great.
Oh, it should be great.
Swerving all over the road.
Fantastic. Jared and I have come up with a thing that we're probably going to do for the upcoming programs.
Yep.
Hopefully this will work well. We at least want to try it for 1 or 2 shows this semester, and then we'll kick it into full gear when we come back in September. So we thought to ourselves, geez, some of the most entertaining and amusing and interesting conversations that take place between Jared and myself happen while we're driving to and from the show.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, why don't we document these and record them?
Absolutely.
Started doing that today. I'm not sure how much gold this is going to yield, but there's got to be some. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to take some. I'm going to have to go through and do some judicious cutting here and there, and just to sort of get the nuggets out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I got to milk it for all it's worth, nugget wise.
Yep.
And get all that out there. And censor where necessary, and we'll do it that way. So it'll be conversations with Robb and Jarrod, or I'll come up with some better name for it. I don't know. It'll be the some of the talks that we have on the way into the show and the way out of the show.
Yep.
And usually it's great. Some of it's probably going to be misogynistic and offensive. Probably most of it. Some of it's just going to be nerdy. And everything else in between. So we'll see how that works.
Yep.
I'll see if I can remember to switch it on the way home again. So we can get that going. Yep. And we'll see what we have.
Yeah,
I'm gonna you know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna forget that I started recording these deals. I'm gonna go to hook my phone up, and I'm gonna sync my phone up with my iPod, with my iTunes at some point, and all of a sudden I'm gonna have voice memos in there, and I'm gonna be like, "What the hell is this 35-minute voice message?"
And must be something from Jared.
And then listen to it and then go, oh, well, holy God, I forgot this happened. And this was like 3 months ago. Should probably document this a little bit.
It'll be a great time.
It's going to be great. Should I, and then the question becomes, should I turn it on just when we get in the car, or should I turn it on just when you arrive at my house?
Ooh.
That
is a good question. Well, when I come pick you up, I don't know. That's
right.
Fun.
That's what I'm saying.
But
so
I don't know.
There's the deal. There's a lot to figure out here. Just got to sort this thing out. So we'll get.
We got a new segment coming for you.
We'll get it straightened out. Yeah, we got a new. Listen, you don't need to know all the details. All right, you jerks. We got a new segment coming for you. We got a special show next week that's going to be all special. It's going to be all different than what we normally do. You know what I'd love to know is if we're going to how long we're going to have to do the show next week. Wouldn't that be great to know ahead of time?
Would be good to know.
You know what I mean? That would be fantastic.
We'll never know.
If we get another notification like we got today, I'm going to aim right for 5 o'clock. I'm going to cut the middleman out of this equation here, especially based on the conversation that I had earlier today.
It's a lot of cutting.
508-531-1303. This harkens back to when you were like, hey, I bet people are listening that we didn't even know we're listening.
Yep.
Sometimes when we say things.
Yeah.
Well, this would be one of those times then, wouldn't it?
It sure would be.
Well, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
It's going.
Right about now is when I need Steve to interject with some British. Hey, by the way, he still hasn't responded to the... So... Let's see how. I'll just break this down real quick.
Early.
What's early?
Tonight.
Oh, I know. You all right, sir?
I just looked at the time.
Jared's like, it's got to be 10:15. Oh, it's 8.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's 8:38. We got a bit to go. We got a little bit to go here.
Good. Yep.
A little bit. So,
yeah, Steve hasn't responded.
Yeah, Steve hasn't responded. So Steve's at, Steve's at a wedding reception right now, and boo, and he's been, he still sends us messages on the group message and Messenger and all that because he refuses to use text for whatever ungodly reason. But Messenger is fine, and we all keep in touch there. And he had sent us a picture of the the card of what, the DJ's card here.
Yeah,
I don't know what it. So I didn't actually even understand what he was saying up above. I was just saying, oh wow, really, to be kind. So he sent the picture of the card, of the DJ's card, and then I came into the other room and I said to Jared, hey, look at this. I like the fact that the iPhone 7 now with the new, software update and all that gives you the opportunity to draw on the photo and then send it back to the person. Wouldn't it be funny if somebody drew a large phallus on this and then just sent it back to Steve? Jarrod takes my phone, draws what I suggested drawing, and hits send right away. So now there's a photo of the card that Steve has sent us with a big phallus drawn on it and some other lines for emphasis. And it looks like it came from me. And, both of obviously Jarrod saw it. Now we've got the notification that Steve saw it. He has not responded to us. This was, what time was this? I can't even tell.
It should tell you.
I'm trying.
It should be time-stamped.
Trying to see it, but I can't. If you know how to do it better than I can, please. But I'm guessing it was an hour ago, or more.
Maybe it was 7 hours ago.
I believe.
I don't even know. I don't have any. I'm so tired. I don't have that concept of time anymore.
Yeah.
You know how? Do you know that?
I do.
Kind of exhaustion.
Right.
It was at 7:19.
Oh dear God. So, Steve has now shut his phone off, which was a wise decision to make.
I'm sure it was at his wife's suggestion.
Or probably.
What is that you're looking at?
Right.
Steve?
She probably was like, Stephen, please turn the phone off. I think now would be a good time to turn the phone off.
Is that what I think it is? Yes.
Yes. Is that what I think it is, husband? Yes, wife.
It certainly is.
Who are these friends you hang around with? And the thing is, it came from me. So she knows you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's like, well, I know Jarrod, and I can vouch for him. He's a pretty good guy. I don't know about this Rob character. Please just turn your phone off now.
Yeah.
Let's just call it a day.
This is not... I don't want you doing this.
Yeah, no, this is
I don't
great.
want you doing this.
This is great, because I still have yet to meet Steve's wife.
Yeah.
This just hasn't happened.
That's even the better part.
Yeah. No, that's great.
So
That's great.
I like that. She has no idea.
It'll happen one day. Hey, it'll happen this summer if you guys ever invite me to like a freaking barbecue or something that everyone's having. And then instead of just like... So Steve just responded and said, I didn't know what this was.
Come on. Yes, you did.
I mean, it's pretty... Do they look different in Britain is what I want to know now, because how do you know what I mean? Like,
probably they didn't snip the tip.
Great. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Chief Engineer Peter Q. George is still here.
Oh, hey.
He's hanging out in the production room, and he's doing some paperwork and all that good stuff, so it was good seeing Pete. He's here and doing his thing, and hopefully not listening to us. So there you go.
No, and he never does.
No, that's good.
He hates our show.
I guess in certain circumstances it benefits us.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So yeah. Anyway, if somebody wants to invite me to something over the damn summer, maybe I could meet some people.
We could.
That'd be fantastic.
We can get that going.
Yeah. Oh, well, why don't we try that? That'd be great.
We just won't.
No,
We'll laugh about it.
We say it all the time. And hey, there was that time that we were at a barbecue and everybody was asking about the show and then where you were, and then all of a sudden Steve went, oh crap, I forgot to invite him.
Let's laugh at his expense.
And I was sitting at home probably all mopey.
No, you're probably just, you probably wouldn't have wanted to come out anyway.
No, I would have.
You wouldn't.
I would have if only to meet Steve's wife, because she seems like a very lovely woman, and I've communicated with her on Facebook before because she likes the program and she's made comments and stuff. And, I think it would be interesting to meet Steve's better half, and for that reason alone, I would want to come out and do it if somebody would invite me.
I still hold that you wouldn't.
No, I would.
Hey, do you want to come and do the record store day?
It's different. It's different. A barbecue's not. A barbecue doesn't require me to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
We didn't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Let me preface this also, by the way, by saying that. All right. So Steve just commented on the thing you just said, which means he's listening to the program at the wedding reception, which is fantastic.
Yep.
Good on you, Steve. Good on you, sir. I hope he made the DJ just plug it in.
Yeah.
To the
We're just blaring all over the hole.
So everyone at the thing is just hearing this.
Don't do it. It's a mistake.
No, it's a terrible mistake. It's an awful mistake. Just don't do it. My God. What I was going to say was, if you think back on the whole conversations about this year's record store day, by the way, I never actually got officially invited.
No, actually, we did, actually.
I don't think I did.
No, you did. It was off air.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Did I say I wasn't going?
You were like, yeah, I'm not about that.
No, okay. That sounds like something.
Along,
No, that sounds like something I'd say. I thought I was. If the conversation happened and I just straight out
I remember
rejected it, then that's totally fine.
I was sitting here.
You have a physical memory of it, huh?
And you were there, and I was like, and actually, I think Steve was coming in from that room, and I said, "So we're going to record store day. Do you want to attend?" You're like, "Nah, no. I've got other things to do."
And then I came right back in here, probably.
Yeah,
attend to my business.
Yep.
Well,
and then Steve and I were like, "What of Richard?"
Yeah, no, that sounds like me. That sounds like me, actually.
So
anyway, if there's a barbecue this summer, I'm in for it. That's all I have to say about
you,
that.
and then you'd be like, "Nah."
No, because it's not. We could go round and round on this all day. I choose not to, sir. Another big block of classic rock coming up. Got some Tom Petty by request to take care of, and anything else you want. 508-531-1303. SNS BIM.
Saturday nights with Rob Hicks. He's like Wolfman Jack. Without the beard, money, or timeless popularity.
Coincidence? I think not.
Bridgewater's Saturday night soundtrack on 91.5 WBIM.
That's Ted Nugent, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack, that one by request. Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta. The greatest thing about that song is that, Derek St. Holmes does the vocals, so you don't have to listen to the ramblings of a raving lunatic, like this video that was posted within the past week.
Hi, well, look at me. That's a smile on my face. You know it don't come cheap. Sure, I live the American dream. Go ahead and crucify me. A simple life I will not have. It doesn't satisfy me. I don't believe in the status quo. It kind of leaves me weak. A mountain high is what I climb. I swim a river deep. And if you want the time of your life, try to keep up with me.
These are not the ramblings of some guy on a street corner. This is actually Ted Nugent doing a Facebook Live on the plane as he was on his way home from having met Donald Trump.
Fresh, as the dust has not settled yet.
And I'm Facebook Living too.
Well, that's his annoying fiance, Audrey Berry.
It has not settled yet in Washington, D.C., because an enormous, inescapable, overwhelming, irrefutable, effervescent, glowing, dynamo hum, we the people, crowbar, swinging wildly, like Geronimo, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, Cochise, Chesty Puller, General Patton, Davy Crockett, Rosa Parks, and me.
All right, so let me stop it right there. First of all, the words Rosa Parks and me should never be spoken by anyone, least of all a raving lunatic like Ted Nugent. You have a question.
I disagree. The whole Rosa Parks and me thing can be spoken by certain people.
Yes, not by him.
Yeah. Especially a guy who... with all the Indian names that you just dropped.
Yeah, yeah. Let's mention this.
Let's unpack that for a second.
Oh, yeah.
That guy said that they should have all been eradicated.
Absolutely.
Who the hell are you, mister?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. It continues.
The beloved Sweetie Pie Whackmaster.
Forgot one. Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, well, we're getting there.
The look on his face is like, why don't you shut up, woman? I'm
we
talking.
landed in Washington, D.C. at the invite of the President of the United States of America, the great Donald, we the people, Trump. I swear to God.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have shut my mic off for that.
I don't know how much detail I can share, but I'm going for it.
I don't know how much detail I can share because I'm so important that I'm sure I was privy to. Well, he probably
does it matter. Donald Trump shares all the kinds of things.
He probably was privy to some national security information because Trump's a moron, and he probably would have shared that without realizing it.
What a great guy. And I was not moved or intoxicated or boogied by the office of the president. I was moved by the genuine sincerity, down to earth, and most importantly, believable concern and openness, uninhibitedness, family attitude and spirit of President Trump when he greeted us at the White House.
It seems so...
What an a-hole. Like, seriously.
Normal, but very... Oh, yeah. I should turn...
Get on you when you're
very, very friendly and very open.
Like, why is she interjecting?
Amazing.
Nobody cares what... Nobody cares what Ted Nugent thinks, but nobody cares what his fiance thinks.
So genuine and
it was down to earth and absolutely
I say that as I fly my personal plane.
Right. Exactly right.
Rhetorically presidential.
Because you know he's not in coach with a bunch of other losers.
Presidential, but in the of the people, for the people, by the people, constitutional, working for us.
The Constitution that he likes to step all over every opportunity he gets.
We're on the mighty Pilatus. Jim Sirkleski. Hey, Jim, I love you, you Pilatus blood brother. But we're flying back home to Sadie and Happy.
What the F are you talking about?
But what a day. I've been to many mountaintops in life. I played bass guitar for Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley.
Oh, here's where he gives his musical resume. This is great.
Tutored and trained to race off-road by Parnelli Jones, Rick Mears, and the amazing masters of the off-road world, Mickey Thompson. I hunted with Fred Bear. I mean, I went around the Indy track with Parnelli Jones in a Roush Mustang. I mean, I've really...
What a self-aggrandizing douche.
Played with the greatest musicians. I've saluted flag-draped coffins by the hundreds.
Yeah, and you once crapped your pants to avoid being one of them.
Heart and soul campfires with the superior humanity of the U.S. military warriors and their families. So I know a thing or two that freedom ain't free, and that our government overall is so abusive of power, so corrupt, so out of control, that the good news is that President Trump knows this too.
Yeah, he knows it because he does it on a daily basis.
Drain that toxic swamp of cronyism and lobbying and elitism and power abuse and the criminal corruption that runs amok in our government. I'm telling you.
Right now.
I'll have some Goldman Sachs guys in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Merrill Lynch.
Yeah.
About the direction America is in. I can't go into detail about everything we discussed, but we did have a delicious lobster salad, and we had a wonderful...
Did you have the most beautiful cake you've ever seen?
Love the lamb chops. Here's a little tip from Uncle Ted. The cuter the critter, the sweeter the meat. So everybody at the
this
White
guy.
House, including all those warriors of the Secret Service,
Twice.
smirking at me because I was unarmed.
In the behind.
I didn't even bring my pocket knife with me. I
With
felt
gusto.
Stupid. But there were enough M4s and MP5s and firepower all around me. And again, God bless the Secret Service. And I love the smirks. I love the winks. But anyhow, God bless
okay, that's fine. When's he gonna die?
I don't know.
When's it gonna happen? Like, why did this plane safely reach its destination? That's my first question.
I don't know.
Who allowed that to happen?
This...
It's almost like you can't even comment on it, right?
A little bit. Like, also, too, the fact that, like, just nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to care.
No one cares.
He's over there talking about draining the swamp.
Right.
But this guy has the people from the swamp
right
in his office.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right. Absolutely.
And yet
100 friggin' %.
And yet he's going on, we're draining the swamp. Like draining the swamp and putting it in the White House? What are we talking about draining the swamp? I'd like details.
Plus the fact that not only that, but he doesn't necessarily have to worry about draining the swamp, because I don't know if he's aware of this, but we're on the brink of nuclear war.
Yep.
So, but apparently he has, quote, never been more comfortable about the direction this country is going. Well, that's fantastic.
Well, I mean, I guess, you're all about denialism. Just F it all.
Just all the Indian names and everything. That's a very good point you made, by the way, because
I know, like, they should have been eradicated.
Right.
100 years ago.
Correct.
Stupid Indians. What? and then there he is. Oh, I'm right there with Sitting Bull. And
Sitting Bull. What an idiot. Not Sitting Bull. This guy. This idiot. Oh my God. What a knuckle-dragging moron.
I almost have to agree with fictional characters in this point, where it's like, maybe that's what we do need, is a reset.
Right.
F it. Just go ahead and just let's have it out.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
We'll get into a pissing contest with North Korea.
Right. Which is what we're in the middle of right now.
Two of us with our small, tiny hands,
and whatever else.
Yep. And just reset it all.
Yeah.
Just reset it, and then we'll just start back from the creation period.
Great.
We'll just, oh man, it's a weird time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like I almost wish for, I don't hate to say it because I voted for the guy.
Yeah.
I would have been good with Bush back in the office.
I've heard a lot of people saying things about, it's, the revisionist attitude towards George Bush, in recent years is rather dangerous because everybody kind of forgets about the things that he trounced all over. Well, he agreed. But at the same time,
it's not as bad as
by
this.
Comparison. Holy God!
Oh man, and I hate on the second term, it was like real bad. It was like, oh, this guy's terrible.
All right.
Oh, why did I vote for him? I'm glad I voted for him because it stalled this for a little bit.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This is madness.
It's insane. The whole thing is insane.
And nobody seems to care.
No, you and I are the only ones that care. That's what I've come down to.
Yeah, and everybody's like, well, let's just but I think I know it's halfway because he keeps throwing stuff at us constantly, and everybody's like, what? They haven't had time to process what happened just a second ago because something new, like what's happening now. He was supposed to go to the dinner conference or whatever,
sure,
and he skipped it to go do this rally instead.
Right.
And it's like, whoa. Buddy.
Right. He's doing a rally, which is his 100-day rally, which is basically like another campaign stop, which is the same thing that he's been doing since he got elected and since he started running a year ago.
Yep.
Can you stop doing rallies, please, and start doing your job? Oh, wait. When you do your job, all you do is poke the bear of other nuclear countries to try to get us into war. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize you forgot you thought that was actually your job. Come to think of it, by all means, if those are our two choices, taunting nuclear war or having rallies, go have another rally. Have 5 of them.
And what's equally...
Have 10 of them. Keep us the F out of trouble.
And what's equally is frightening is that the terrorists recently in Paris, he applauded. He was like, oh, this will go great for the election because they will end up electing the person that's more like him.
Right.
So, you almost wonder then you have to put on the tinfoil hat and go, was that on purpose?
Right. I don't know. And I mentioned it earlier, I'll say it again. The other thing that bothers me is the fact that we live in a world and in a society where it's necessary to have people marching on behalf of science. Like you need to march to bring science to your president's attention.
Yeah.
Because he's not aware of how science works and what it does for us.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there's no edict to go out and say that the earth is flat.
It's probably coming.
That's the other thing. Not to get all... Have you noticed that there's been a whole lot more of these flat earther idiots coming out of the woodwork now that he's president?
Yep.
Is this just a coincidence? Nope. Oh, I don't believe in climate change. Oh, and by the way, I think the world's flat. What are you, nuts?
Yeah. Oh, no, it's proven because you look at it from space and it looks flat.
Right.
So, there you go.
What are you talking about? It doesn't go that way.
You know what's interesting about the whole flat thing? Mm-hmm. I'm just being nerdy at this point.
Sure.
The ancient Greeks, they knew. There. I think the guy, I forget the guy's name, but he had calculated that the Earth was round by X amount of miles, and then it wasn't until I think 1940 when they actually did another thing of it. He was off by 2 or 3 miles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but in between the time of modern man,
right.
19th century, and the ancient Greeks, you have a lot of people that were like, yeah, the Earth's flat.
Yeah.
Thousands of years.
Right.
It's insane.
That was also thousands of years ago.
But still.
Well, no, I understand. I'm just saying.
Now the conversation's back on.
Right.
That the Earth is flat.
Which is ridiculous and doesn't make any sense that it's still happening.
What does Peter think?
I don't think you want to ask. I don't think you want to ask what Peter thinks.
No.
Peter doesn't want to.
He's not here, right? You're not here?
I'm here.
Oh.
I'm here all right.
Oh, good.
Peter came in and saw my monitors over here, and I think his blood started to boil a little bit.
I have my opinion.
They're the same.
I'd like to keep the license.
They're the same as mine, sir. They're the same as mine.
That's good.
We do share alike,
Yeah.
Well, we played a song, so we're not all that bad.
Right. By request. That's the only reason I actually played that song. Otherwise, I would have just probably said, nope, that's not happening. It's not happening here, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was basically it. You had 3 relevant songs, and they were all back in the 70s. So how about you relax?
And put out a good record decades.
Right. Oh, you can't anymore? Oh, I see. Why don't you go visit with the president again?
The what?
Some threesome.
Why don't you go see if you still qualify for the draft? We all know how well you did with that last time. Oh, all right, let's go.
Here we go.
508-531-1303. We promise we won't be all serious on you, and we'll get into some more classic rock, and we'll actually have some fun before we get out of here. So, SNS on BIM.
So, you just spent hours putting together the perfect classic rock playlist?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's so cute. This Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
There's Boston at 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show Talking Heads before that. Some live Alice in Chains, Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm. Oh man.
You're running on fumes, sir, aren't you?
Not even fumes.
You are on fumes.
Just the ether.
Just some dewy, ether.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And this is the gentleman driving me home.
Woo.
I am excited for that.
Oh, you should.
Let me tell you. Boy. So call us up, 508-531-1303. If you don't know anything that we're saying, we don't really know what we're saying at this point either, so it's cool.
Sometimes I shake the monkey tree and I wonder what the milk is.
Yeah, so I used to every year when I was in college here, we would do the basement marathon, which was we would come in here at 8 in the morning and we would do a show until 11 at night. For whatever reason,
That's something I can get behind.
But for whatever reason, I'm starting to kind of feel like that right now. Like I've been on for many, many hours. I've only been on since 5:30.
What time did you get up this morning?
I got up at like 7:30.
Bastard.
Yeah.
I was up at 5.
I know you were.
For no reason.
Well, no, it wasn't for no reason.
There was a reason.
That's true. That's true.
I was losing weight.
This is, or as Jarrod so eloquently put earlier, this part doesn't need to be on the air.
It didn't.
Call us up, 508-531-1303. Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. We'll do anything you want. Like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. Got the YouTube channel out there. Search for Saturday Night Soundtrack, filter for channels. The first thing that comes up, podcasts, all our old shows are up there, and live stream. Livestream.com is a website. It's also a free app in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Download that. You can listen to us every Saturday night from anywhere.
I want people to know that he's not reading that.
No, absolutely not.
He committed that to memory.
I did.
That's how dedicated he is
That
to
is-
the show.
that
And
is-
the fact that you don't care, F you.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. That's effing right. So you and I talked off the air. I think it was last week or the week before. It wasn't last week or the week
sometime.
before. That you had finally gotten around to seeing Patriots Day.
Yeah.
And your feelings on it
Oh,
were that.
man.
I mean, I'd like you to. I mean, you don't have to go into the whole diatribe, but I mean, if you want to give just some highlights of your opinion. And the only reason I mention this is because it popped into my head again because my boss at work actually just, or as opposed to my boss at home, just happened to watch it last night or the night before and commented and said he thought it was great, except for the fact that Marky Mark kind of ruined it.
I'll do this.
Yeah.
I'll conflate things.
Okay.
Right? So, Patriots Day, I was pleasantly surprised.
As was I.
Because I figured it was going to be another one of these come on. I was going to be one of these things where it just kind of took away, took something that was very important to what's going on here.
BIM.
Hello.
Hello.
A long time ago, there was a doctor named Whitehouse,
Yeah.
and they had a song "One Fine Morning." Could you play it?
Yeah, we can take a look for you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for calling.
You were saying.
I was worried that they were going to take something and just kind of water it down to some nothingness. They did in a little bit of way because they had Mark Wahlberg, superhero cop, which
Right.
I'm sure that cop was involved in most things, but I mean, did he go there and did he Russell Crowe?
Well, Tommy Saunders wasn't a real character. They admitted from the beginning that was a consolidated thing. They fictionalized him. The whole thing that he was on suspension and he only had to be at being at the finish line of the marathon was like the last hoop he had to jump through to be able to get back on active detective duty and all that. That was all fiction. That was just to kind of bring the whole thing together. No. But what it is that was the thing, right? Is that they were cops at the whole idea was the fact that they were cops at the finish line, obviously, because there always are. They're the ones you saw, like, responding in the pictures in Time magazine, all that. Obviously there were the detectives that were actually working the case. There were the cops in Watertown that ultimately brought the guy down. They just, for whatever reason, they felt the need to have a composite character like Mark Wahlberg's be at every single leg,
every single moment
of everything that was going on, and that was pretty far fetched.
And I'm pretty sure a Boston cop probably has no jurisdiction in Watertown.
No, most likely not.
But anyway, I was surprised, and it got me in the feels, as the kids say these days.
Sure.
Because I remember that whole incident like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I was pretty involved in the whole news of it and all that. But it took me by surprise. The only thing I didn't like is the Russell Crowing of Mark Wahlberg standing in an empty warehouse. All right, they're by Abe and Louie's. Where are they now?
Right.
They're over here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hang on a second. Let's back it up a little bit. But as a whole, I was pleasantly surprised. Just as I was pleasantly surprised about Split.
Yeah, you were telling me about that on the way in here.
Yep.
Now, Split, I have not yet seen, and I'm dying. I wanted to see it, and I'm dying to see it a little bit more now that you've said this.
I'm going to say this too.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to spoil anything for you.
Better not.
No. Watching the film. How am I going to put this? Watching the film at the end, before, because you know that the director puts in these twists.
Sure.
That's his MO. So right up to the end, because I thought he'd done without all the twists anymore. They lay it all out, and you could figure it out and go, oh, all right, I can see what this all was, and it makes sense. But then they throw the twist in, and you're like, wait a second. Like, and it's like a reverse twist.
Really?
Yeah, so like the whole film, you think you've nailed it down, and you're like, oh, I get the twist. But then the twist that actually comes in reverses all of that, and then you go, wait a second.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that even more now.
Yeah, it was. And then James McAvoy. I was never a real big fan of him and his work. I always thought he was kind of dull. But he does a terrific job in this film. Playing the 9 characters that he's in there.
He's one of those guys where I think I don't like him, and then I think about a whole bunch of movies that he's been in, and I remember that he's in each one of them, and I'm like, that was good. Oh, well, that was good. He was in Atonement. Atonement was good.
I didn't like it.
Well, I'm sure you didn't, but I'm just saying it was good.
What else you got?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Because that's all that he did.
But I'm saying to you.
He did the X-Men movies. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah, that was terrible.
X-Men,
Logan was good.
I have no interest in X-Men. My wife said that Logan was terrible.
Yeah,
she said it. Well, here's what she said. She said it was like it was still kind of emotional, but it was still awful. It was her. Her assessment.
Let's take what your wife says is good and compare that.
No, but she.
So,
I mean, she married me. Oh wait. Oh wait a minute.
That explains her resentment over there.
I get where we're going.
All she was doing is giving you a rain of.
Oh my God, it was so awful.
That was rough to hear.
I was pretty glad you came over. I was like, good. I'm leaving.
I'm out of here.
I gotta go.
Oh, your show's not on for another while.
No, it doesn't matter. I gotta
hang out in the rain.
Gotta sit in Jarrod's car and cry for a while. 508-531-1303. Let us know what you want to hear. We're going to take care of that Lighthouse request within the next block, and anything else anybody wants. Yeah, that's what they wanted to hear.
The band Lighthouse?
Yes.
With the, In a Moment song?
The One Fine Morning song that the person just requested while we were here.
I wasn't listening.
I know you weren't. So here we go.
I'm thinking of Lifehouse and that song that they had in the early 2000s. Hanging in the Moment.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
You know that one?
Weren't they also the ones that did that, You and Me?
No.
No, where's the fever?
No.
I believe it is.
No, it's not.
I'm going to look this up.
No, go, you do it.
What do I get if I'm right?
Nothing.
Great.
A ride home.
Oh, good. Classic Rock until 11 o'clock. SNS BIM.
Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks is all request. Call 508-531-1303. The classic is our part. What we rock is up to you.
That's Black Sabbath on their debut album, Black Sabbath. Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta, Saturday Night Soundtrack.
Here.
What's up?
I'm still here.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello.
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 Call us up, 508-531-1303. If there's anything you want to hear in this last Classic Rock block, let us know. It's now or never. You're not going to hear us
I'd like to hear that song.
You're not going to hear us do real traditional Classic Rock for a couple of weeks now. That's the only hint I'll give. But next week's show is going to be a special one. So tune in for that at 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night.
Who knows?
5:30, I have no idea.
Where this show is about as cares about a consistency as the presidency does.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I care about consistency. It's just whatever I have to work with at the time.
How about the producers of the show?
I care about consistency, and I also care about being on the air as long as humanly possible. So if those two things meet, great.
Wonderful.
If they don't, I do what I can. So that's how it works. Not to dampen the flames of Steve for when he comes back in here to do the show again, but did he pick up anything cool that he's going to be bringing into the show in the next couple of weeks or so?
Yeah.
Any hints? I'm going to assume there had to have been a Bowie thing somewhere along the way, right?
Yeah, and some... I mean, you should know, Steve. You don't know what he would pick up.
No, I do. I was just trying to think if there was any kind of... because I was looking through a list earlier today, and it was some website's list of the top 10 things that were getting released exclusively for Record Store Day. And I was going through it, and I was like, well, none of this, all of this seems cool, yet none of it seems like anything that Steve himself would actually pick up.
He picked up quite a few things, and he even picked up something that he didn't think was available.
Oh.
So he's been excited.
The one of the things I saw was a Prince record. I was like, well, I know he ain't picking up that.
Nope, yeah.
That's
for sure.
There's no question there. The other thing that I thought was kind of cool, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I saw that there was they were bringing out a record specifically of Santana's performance at Woodstock.
Yes.
And
none of us picked that up.
I would be interested to see it. I probably wouldn't pick it up myself, but I'd be interested to see it because that was a phenomenal, groundbreaking performance there. Was. That just basically set them up for their whole careers.
Yeah.
And he was tripping
with it.
Right, and he was tripping heavily on drugs at the time.
Yeah.
So don't do drugs, kids.
Nope.
Unless it might happen to help you at Woodstock. Maybe
but then
just that one time. That's it.
You got to live up.
That's it. You got to. Yeah, right. you got to make sure to kind of keep the bar raised where it is, and just do that. And anything still going on in this building or no? Well, we don't know because there was something potentially creepy happening.
Yeah, there's something fishy going on.
And you weren't sure what that actually was.
I don't know. Nor do I think I want to know.
No, I don't want to know either. Is it down? It's got to be down near where the restrooms are. Yeah.
Yeah. Right directly across from.
It's kind of concerning because during this last block, I was going to go hit the bathroom before we headed out.
And see if it's still going on down
there. I don't know if I want to, sir.
Do it, be a man.
This is almost like our neighbor situation. I don't necessarily want to know what's going on.
Be a man.
No.
Yeah. Grosso cajonas.
That's a good Scarface impression, sir.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Scarface is another movie that's on AMC ad nauseum.
Which one? The 1932 version? Or
no. The 1983 version. You can never find the 1932 version anywhere. I have it on DVD because it came with the Blu-ray of the 1983 version. Yeah. So I picked that version up and I got the complimentary copy of the 1932
I used
DVD.
to know that actor's name that was in that the 32 version. I used to say, man, that guy.
Paul Muni?
Yeah. He's probably rolling in his grave going, man.
Oh, yeah?
No, that's not the role I portrayed.
Well, he was probably rolling in his grave back in '83 because I'm sure he was probably dead by then.
That's what I'm saying.
So he's been rolling around. And not only that, he started rolling at that point, and then he was like, well, the good thing is at least nobody's going to see this piece of trash. Oh, wait, it's become a cultural phenomenon?
Great.
Effing great.
Cool.
This embodies everything about the drug and or hip-hop culture in the last 20 years. That's fantastic.
Wonderful.
Oh, great.
Violence. It's not even the good one. I don't know. I've always preferred the 32 version.
I'm sure you have.
I don't
I'm
like
sure.
black and white film
I
films.
know.
I can't.
You're such a nerd.
I am.
But that's fine.
I'm the biggest.
Aren't we all? Look at me. Who am I? Who am I calling a nerd? What right do I have to be saying this crap? I mean, come on.
You know you're a nerd when you've got like anecdotal like information on even like the things that just people don't care about.
Right. I think that's the definition of a nerd, sir. You're gonna look it up. I think that's gonna be where it's at. Oh
man. But
here's one more nerdy thing, and then we'll get into the last block of classic rock. So I was peeved yesterday because I opened up my I had gotten they re-released the Die Hard set yet again.
Oh, did you get the tower?
No.
I don't care.
But here's the thing. So I got it for like $20, and the whole reason that I got it was because they finally had the unrated version of the fourth one. Where, you can actually hear John McClane say the F word and stuff, which you should really be able to hear because he says it. Like, are we supposed to think that he mellowed? The PG-13 rating on the fourth Die Hard was ludicrous because it was basically like, every other movie is yippee-ki-yay, mother effer, F you and an F and a foul filth and an F and then you come to the third movie. You jackass!
Yep.
Come on, you jerk off! Like, what?
Yep.
You told us, jackass, I was dead. What are you talking? Who says jackass? My dad says jackass.
I think. Well, see, that's the point.
They were trying to soften him up a little bit.
Well, and then the fact that I think a lot of the suits were like, well, the first few movies were hits, especially with the younger crowd, and the younger crowd can't go into a rated R film.
Well, they couldn't do it then either.
Well, but then you had VHS and DVD. And so a lot of young kids got involved in it. And they're like, ooh, let's get that crowd. Because that's the crowd that's driving pop culture right now. So then I think that's where they made that mistake.
Yeah, it was
stupid. Then it's kind of like all the other mistakes. Like, right? Like, we're The Dark Knight. Right? Great piece of film. Not even just like a comic book film, but great piece of film. And then what are they doing? Like, they have to like make all these movies super dark and super serious now. You're like,
right.
Really?
Yep.
You can't catch lightning in a bottle twice.
Right.
Cut it out.
Yeah, they're just going to keep milking that cow.
Oh, yeah.
The whole reason I was peeved, by the way, is the fact that it was supposed to have the unrated. The whole reason I bought the set is it has the unrated version in it. I open up the box set, and apparently the old disc was still in there. They gave me the Blu-ray that I already had of the fourth one that does not have the friggin' unrated version on it. So I did some looking online, and there's an email address I can email and tell them that I need a replacement, and they will send me a replacement. That's awesome. But I was like, are you kidding, man? That was the whole reason I bothered to do this. Because they didn't remaster any of the films.
No.
They just repackaged the films in this thing, but the glowing part of it was the fact that you could finally see on Blu-ray the unrated version of the fourth one like it should be seen.
I would have came into your house tonight when I dropped you off to see if you had gotten the
Yeah, no, I'm not going to get it.
The Takashari?
Yeah, the Nakatomi building.
Nakatomi building.
But I'm not... the Takashawa building? No.
Takashawa building?
No, but because I have no... You know me. I'm very... I like all my movies to be on shelves and very
Think
neatly.
how cool that
Apple
thing would be.
Yeah, fine, but I'd have no place to put it, and it would be cool for about 10 minutes until I tried to put the damn thing away, and then I was like, "Well, there's no place to actually put this.
I could just stand it.
This is stupid."
By the thing.
Now what do I do? You know what I mean?
Just have it standing.
And I just didn't. I don't even know if the Nakatomi Tower version even has the unrated in it. It might not.
It could.
It might not.
I'm going to look into that.
All right, look into it and let me know. If it does, I'm still not going to get it. I'm just going to email Fox for a replacement of the one that I have. And that's what we're going to do. And everyone's turned us off now.
Yeah, so nerdy.
We need to tell Steve how the nerdiness level of this episode was surprisingly through the roof.
Well, here's a nice little thing. Did you know that they didn't want to put Bruce Willis's face on the poster?
Yeah, I know.
Because they
were like, everyone's going to think, here's this moonlighting douche. I don't need to see him in an action movie. What the hell is this? Oh, the guy from Blind Date? Pass. You know?
I do wish, though, speaking of Bruce Willis real quick, I wish that he did more dramatic roles. Or rather, I wish that people would give him more dramatic roles.
Right.
Because he hasn't really done a whole lot. The closest, some of the closest stuff that he's ever done was the stuff with Shyamalan.
Right.
Like The Sixth Sense. Good God, that film. Yeah. You're like, he could do it.
Of course he can.
Let him do it, and they won't do it. I also want to see Rock Hudson on... No, not Rock Hudson. That guy's great. What's that other film that he did?
I don't think you're going to be seeing Rock Hudson anything, sir.
The film that he did, Hudson. Maybe that's what it's called, Hudson? The early
Hudson Hawk?
Yeah, Hudson Hawk.
All right, there you go.
I want that on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not.
Because it bombed.
No, I know.
But it's so good.
There are so many things out there that have bombed, sir, and they're still on Blu-ray for no apparent reason.
But that one is good.
No, I know. I get it.
I don't understand why it bombed.
Maybe it'll be
it was delicious.
Maybe it'll be on Criterion in a few months.
I effing hope. No, it's not actually. They've released everything that's coming out from now until July.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe by the end of the year then. Who knows?
I don't know. I need it in my life.
Probably not.
Such a good film.
We're such nerds.
We should just do a whole show.
As we kind of have, sir.
Films. We should just do a film show.
We sort of have.
Well, and instead of playing music, we'll review movies.
Here. Let me play Steve. Let me play Steve at this moment. Ready? Let me know when you do it, because I ain't going to be here. I come here to listen to music, not that crap. As you said off the air, sir. Steve is, when I was like, every time we go up, we gab a lot longer than I thought we would. And I was like, Steve's our leash. I'm like, I thought it was going to be less without Steve here because we'd be having less of a 3-part conversation. But no, that's not the case.
No, yeah, we're just gabbing away.
Here we go.
I think we should do that, though. I think we should do like a whole show dedicated to the film.
Maybe we will. Maybe that's what we had planned for next week, but it's not.
But it's not.
No, next week's going to be nerdy.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure, but not this nerdy.
No, not this nerdy.
Musically nerdy.
A different type of nerdy.
Yeah, musically nerdy. And we're not going to talk as much.
Musically nerdy and old.
We'll be playing more music.
Absolutely.
So
you won't. Don't think you're getting this all the time.
This gold mine.
You lucky people, you. Last block of classic rock coming up. Call us up 508-531-1303 SNS BIM.
The Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks is on 91.5 WBIM. Bridgewater's weekend all request classic rock experience.
It is 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. About ready to wrap it up for another week. Rob Hicks, Jarrod Barbetta. I think we did pretty successfully tonight, considering the fact that we didn't have our leash.
Yep.
Steve Rimmer to keep us in line, and we did reasonably okay.
Yeah, I think we did all right.
In the face of that, but we welcome him back for next week. He'll be back next week, as will we, with a very special episode that Jarrod put the kibosh on me telling you anything about.
Yep.
So, but
secrets matter, my friend.
Just know that it's going to be great, and that's all you need to know. So
we're going to make radio great again.
Come back, please. Come back next week again. It's either going to be 7 p.m. or it's going to be 6 p.m. or it's going to be 5:45 or it's going to be 5:30 or it's going to be 5. I don't know. But it's not going to be any later than 7, so keep that in mind.
Yep.
Just to prove that we are bastards, but just to prove that we're not just complete bastards on the air and not also off the air, Steve sent us a breaking news that Happy Days star Erin Moran has died. She played Joni, of course. She's died at age 56. Jarrod's response on the messenger was, "Who cares, lol." And your point was also that unlike last year, people aren't making a big fuss over every single passing. Well, that is true.
Yeah.
People were kind of losing their pants.
Every time someone died,
right.
Oh my God, the sorrows.
Oh,
But now no one seems to care, and that's my point.
Oh, the guy who played the trumpet on the soundtrack of the Ann Southern show died. Holy God.
Oh my God, this world is coming to an end.
He was 98. The humanity of the whole thing. Well, everybody just relax. It's fine.
Yeah. But this time, for some reason, no one's flipping out.
I believe my contribution to that whole conversation was, quote, "Isn't she the one who always had a stick up her ass about that show?" And basically said that she was treated unfairly when everybody else in the cast said it was like some of the best times of their lives. Like you mentioned, it probably could also be that
That's what happened.
It also could be that, she didn't end up with the stardom and the fame and the fortune that all the others had. But at the same time, Potsy, what's he doing nowadays? Nothing. Right, nothing. That's my point. And
Yes, he did. I think he died.
No, he didn't
He
die.
died in the 80s.
No, he did not. And what was the other guy's name? The dark-headed kid. It was Potsy, and I can't remember the other kid's name.
Yeah, he died too.
No, he didn't die. Not
In
everybody.
the 90s.
No, not everybody died, sir. Not everybody died.
Does it freak you out to know that, like, eventually you will be the next person on this earth that dies?
What?
Yeah, you heard me.
No. What do you mean?
Does that freak you out?
I'm not going to be the next person on the earth who dies. What are you, nuts?
Eventually, you'll be the next person on this earth.
Yeah,
that
eventually, not tonight.
Dies. No. Well, I mean, I don't know. I am exhausted.
Oh my God. I'm thinking I might just want to call an Uber on this deal.
Like, I am hallucinating.
Oh no, sir.
You know, when you've been up so long, you start to hallucinate, and then you're like looking over to your side, and you're like, "Why is there a Muppet next to me?" You know what I mean?
I don't want. That's not a good time. That's not a good time. I don't feel good about this
You can feel
whatsoever.
how dense his head is, and just, oh boy. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. We'll send you out with something mellow. Close it out with Steely Dan. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. Once again, remember to tune in next week. We're going to have definitely a special episode for you. Something you never heard before, never going to hear since. So remember to come back for that. 91.5 WBIM. See ya. Bye.
Times are hard.